Scotty Guadagno getting ready in the left lane out of Brooklyn, New York. Your number 20 qualifier. All right, so Scotty Guadagno of Brooklyn, New York, 02 Chevrolet Camaro, ready to go. So Scotty Guadagno, here we go on the left side, Peter, and the guys down there, Frankie and all the boys out of Brooklyn, New York. And man, they would like to get that thing on. And Jeff Cooner out of Townley, Alabama, the Pressurized Solutions 2000 Mustang, your number 9 qualifier. The Mustang on the right side is already in Pro Drag Radial. No wheelie bars, radial tires, and I am telling you, you are in for a treat. If these things get up and get down, and Scotty Guadagno's had some time to go back and refresh the car, the nitrous oxide 762 cubic inches of Guadagno power did not utilize the right lane earlier today. That's why he only went 7.82 seconds. Let's see what he does here. Can he get a hit on the tire? Will he go to the tire? Or will he go straight down Broadway where he's been many, many times in drag radial racing? So round number 2, the best in the business. If you put this name of drivers and cars together, I will tell you what, you have probably the best drag radial cars and drivers in the country right here today. I know you do. Hanging with him, 453, 165. But look at Jeff Cooner's 4.33 second elapsed time, a career best at 183 miles per hour. Cooner to number 2. Kyle Hutel, 428, sits on top of the list. Woodruff right under him and marking the guys. Probably the best drag radial cars and drivers in the country right here today. I know you do. Hanging with him, 453, 165. But look at Jeff Cooner. Buick Regal out of the burnout box. He's got Steven Crisaful out of Mount Airy, Michigan to take on in the 98 Mustang. Crisaful not in the game. Either of them are in the game right now. 21 for DeMarco at 791. 19 in qualifying at 7.16 seconds for Crisaful. Now we'll see if they can make that Mustang come to life. How about the Buick fans, man? I am telling you, if you're a Buick fan, you're going to be wanting to ride on board right now with David DeMarco. The twins, Andy and David. One drives a Ford, the other drives this big behemoth Buick and tries to make things happen. Now he's got Proline power under the hood, so he's capable of putting a number down and awing the fans right here. After watching Scotty Guadagno go, this track's wide open to David DeMarco and getting this thing in his 16-car field here in Pro Drag Radial. So now as they edge their way to the lights, Steven Crisaful now goes to the lights. DeMarco says, well, it's qualifying, but it's a battle to get to the game. Lights come down. DeMarco leads for the field. DeMarco may get into the field at 4.98 seconds. He does. 4.75. They both make a hard charge, and they beat that bump spot. And we'll see as they put them. How about this? Crisaful number 8. David DeMarco number 10 with a 4.98. Hutel still on top at 4.280 seconds. And our next two, Bonesy, come right up to the starting line. And man, there's a guy right next to me, David Bones, we lived this stuff back in the day when you never thought these guys would go this fast. Kevin Fiskus and the guys out of Jacksonville, Florida, not in the game. Unlike to hear the name Fiskus, not in the game right now. Your number 20 qualifier sitting there at 6.83 seconds. And Fiskus and all the guys down here in the left lane, making it happen. We'll see. You got the big chaser down there. We'll see if that ambulance chaser can make things happen too. Kyle Hutel, here comes the Texan. And look at that. I love to see Bubba Corzine. I'd love to sit next to him and have one of those little water and scotches or whatever he called it with that guy talking about all these Texas racers. You gotta love this guy. Out of Cypress, Texas, the 02 Chevrolet Camaro. The old bad Niner, baby. #1 qualifier, and there's why. You see the NOS hitting the atmosphere out there, and you got your turbo, you got your blowers. Look at that, 1 kit, 2 kits, another one? Let's see it. Does he got a little Sneaky Pete somewhere in his fire suit? I don't know, man. You see another purge. That guy is just purged down. Now listen to him. Listen to him go to the motor. There's another kit of nitrous oxide for Kyle. Man, I don't know how many bottles he's got in that thing. There's another and another. Kyle Utel is definitely 904 cubic inches on nitrous oxide. I am telling you right now, you'd have to have a CDL, you'd have to have placards on the bumper of this thing just to get it down a highway. They're into the meet. Your #1 qualifier. The left lane, no, Viscus goes to the game. 4.38 seconds for Viscus at 182. How about the run for the Jacksonville, Florida native? #3 in qualifying. Utel throws one away, but he'll stay #1 with a 428 earlier today at 175 in the sun right here in Virginia. So now Frank Soldridge out of Palmerton, Pennsylvania. Our driver coming up to the left side, the 04 Mustang. Look at that. He's got one of the bow tie bangers under the hood. The old Ford's getting woke up by a bow tie. Going to church on Sunday. 648 cubes of it in the left lane. And down there on the left side, you are going to watch this man try his heart out right here to go better than 509. Watts Real Estate in the worst way at 169 miles per hour. Kevin Scott. Remember that name? Kevin Scott and Danny Huff out of Georgia. Remember the black Chevrolet Nova 70, 69, maybe 8 model year with the houndstooth interior? Remember Memphis that year when he got it all squirrely and put a dent in the front fender? So Kevin Scott down there out of Dallas, Georgia, you won't forget him. Been around many, many moons. Believe me, even been around the Harvest Moon right now. There, and he is going after it. Kevin Scott, 4.69. They both get into this field of 446 for Soldridge, 179. Soldridge goes to #5 in qualifying. And you see the guys that were right up on top there. They're just moving them down right here. Scotty Guadagno and his great run now goes into the 7th spot. Scott is #9 in qualifying. And on the bump right now, would you believe it? Eric Dillard, 5.28 seconds at 175. The man who builds the power for Proline, sitting. So Eric Dillard sitting on the bump right above him, Steve Woolley. Kevin Mullins, the Kevin Mullins, #14 in qualifying. David DeMarco's Buick hanging in there. Let's go over to the other half of this field as Paul Major pulls his car up. Major's #22, not in the game. Mark Mickey, not in the game right here at #20. Mickey's got himself a bullet down here. Car very capable, and look who's on the bottom of that field. Tim Lynch, on any given day in 10.5 racing, that name is right at #1. So Dillard and Lynch coming into a battle here in Pro Drag Radial for the inaugural opening of the ADRL and the Simply Phones U.S. Drags here at Virginia Motorsports Park. Awesome deal. Let's see if the Major can make it happen. Paul Major, I went down, saw him this afternoon, got his autograph. 2001 Chevrolet Corvette, 588, twin turbochargers, tail lights work. A car that you could probably wheel down the streets of Port Salonga, New York down there. The #22 qualifier, Mark Mickey, the baddest boo in the land right there in the right lane. That is the one that went to Orlando back in 2000 with the turbo people. Job Spetter and the guys, and tuned that up to a victory down there in street racing in 10.5, if you remember. So Mark Mickey out of Jefferson City, Missouri. There's one thing I got to tell Mark Mickey while he's strapped in there. He's about to get a licking from Mr. Wonderful. It's coming. I just want to let him know. 1978 Malibu. You're going to see nothing but purple by you later on. We'll find out. But watch this down at the top end. What a charge for Paul Major, man. He finally gets the tune-up. Mickey finds the 50s. He's about a quarter off the numbers that car can run. And Mark Mickey, number 9. Major goes to number 7 from 12. From Mr. Wonderful. It's coming. I just want to let him know. 1978 Malibu. You're going to see nothing but purple by you later on. We'll find out. But watch this down at the top end. What a charge for Paul Major, man. He finally gets the tune-up. Mickey finds the 50s. He's about a... Remember those days back then with Super Street? Remember the kids from Arnold, Missouri with the black Chevrolet? That's the car, man. Isn't that incredible? They took that car and cleaned it all up. And Mark Woodruff made it just one bad boner right there. 522, sunny power under the hood. That is an awesome, awesome car. So good luck to Woody. Number 4 qualifier. Eric Dillard coming in, the number 18 qualifier. You never hear the name Dillard unless you're at the U.S. Nationals and he's winning in Pro Modified his turbo entry. From number 203, sitting back there all the way back in the beautiful country down there. And I got to tell you what. All right, somebody check for your jacket. You may have lost your jacket on the return road. Let us know what color it is. Come up to the tower. Here's Eric Dillard. Here we go. El Genriel, baby. He's got twins coming, and they're not turbochargers. They're children. 4.55 seconds. Dillard gets in to the game by 0.4 of a second. And Woodruff, who stays at number 4 at 4:42 and 1. You may have lost your jacket on the return road. Let us know what color it is. Come up to the tower. Here's Eric Dillard. Here we go. El Genriel, baby. He's got twins coming, and they're not turbo. He's got twins coming, and they're not turbochargers. They're children. 4.55 seconds. Dillard. It's awesome. He waited for this day. Him and KH and Kenny got together. They made it happen. Here comes a huge name. And I mean that to all the jealous ones out there. The Kevin Mullins coming up. Hemi powered. Look at this. 2 Hemis coming to the starting line. One in the right side out of Canada. And we're talking about Enzo Piccini, who's got himself a tune-up, and I mean a tune-up. Him and the guys from Canada down there working out, and he's had, I believe, the Honey Badger under the hood of this thing, helping him out with it. So the Woodbridge, Ontario base, 88 Mustang. Look for some phenomenal numbers. Things been in the low 30s on test runs. We'll see if he can do something here. He needs one bad. He's number 22. Long trip back to Ontario, not to say, hey, I went to the first inaugural and I had all the power, just didn't get in. Let's see what he can do. 61 years young, that man is. Looks like he's about 48. Let's see if he can drive like he's 25 right here. On the left side, Kevin Mullins, High Point, North Carolina. They call him the Kevin Mullins. When you go down to the drag radial racing world races all over the country with Duck and the guys down at South Georgia Motorsports Park, I will tell you what, Duck Productions brings you some of the best. Today, they're out here trying to be the king of swing and see if they can get themselves one of those big ADRL trophies. We'll find out. So Kevin Mullins now, last man in with his Hemi. Enzo Piccini sitting down there. Piccini goes down to the lights, 4.70 seconds. But look at the Kevin Mullins finds himself a bunch. 4:45 and 184, the number 5 qualifier. Enzo Piccini barely squeaks in at number 15. And look at this, Crisaful on the bump out of Michigan. Shane Stack, 17, hasn't come up. David DeMarco gets bumped out with a 498. Stephen Woolley, who has not made his second run. Ruben T., who I believe. So Ruben T. will have a shot at it here. But, man, you see how fast you're in and how fast you're out here. You got the best in the world, Tim Lynch. Stevie Jackson not in. And Stevie Killintine Jackson will get a shot in KH's little Mustang. Mike Modest not in. Ruben T's going to get his shot, and here comes Tim Lynch. Sitting at number 23 out of 23 of the baddest Pro Drag Radial cars in the country. Lynch is going to try to go from 0 to hero right here in this run. Proline Racing Engines, twin turbocharged, Steve Petty, Lynch the engine builder down there. Ruben T on the right side, hailing from the great country of Russia. Vodka, but he's not drinking that stuff. And they don't eat it unless it's frozen in Jell-O. But anyway, Ruben, I'm going to try this name for you out there at home. Hold on. That's him. Now, if there's any of my Russian friends out there with a piano string, I'm not driving a Cutlass tonight. Pro Extreme to the lanes, Pro Extreme to the lanes, please. Pro Extreme, need you in the lanes. Tim Lynch, big name in drag racing. Proline Racing Engines. Testing down to the top end, 4.32 seconds. Tim Lynch ignites the Chevrolet Corvette into the field. 183 miles per hour. It wasn't 0 to hero, but it was the guy under hero right there. I'm going to tell you what, he went from the bottom to number 2. Need you in the lanes, Tim Lynch, big name in drag racing. Proline Racing Engines. Testing down to the top end, 4.32 seconds. Tim Lynch ignites the Chevrolet. Kinser, 85 years young, goes to the bump spot at 4.70 seconds, and here he is in the right lane. Ladies and gentlemen, Virginia, that man in the right lane, living a dream right there for many, many years, loving speed, whether it's a flying mile, a flying 2 miles, or a quarter or an eighth mile, that man has done it all. You know, back in the day, he was the AMA hill climber. He was the one guy that took the Widowmaker on and won that deal. Champion of climbing the Widowmaker on his bike. So right there, you'll see it as Willard comes up, your number 16 qualifier, 4.704, the little Mustang. The one that Wolf put together many moons ago, and I'm going to tell you, that car flat out gets the job done. Keith Berry, the woo factor out of Clearmont, Georgia, had the parachute pop out on him earlier and had to throw away the first round of qualifying. So the woo factor, the chicken plucker, sitting down there, small block, LS1, Proline Power, Bell Chassis Works, and the 02 Chevrolet Corvette. Man who went down to Holly Springs and just took the field by storm earlier this year. And I'll tell you, he's been doing a phenomenal job ever since. Been on that keyboard a little bit too much though, hasn't he? Yeah, a little WWF never hurt anybody. So they'll roll that thing back down there. Watch that Chevrolet Corvette. That thing works. Don't need no wheelie bars on that thing. One time I've seen it go in the air. Any other time it's straight down Broadway. 1/8 of a mile. Right there on the right side. Jeff Lutz, Callery, Pennsylvania. Lutz Chassis. Doing the work for Kinser. He's down there just talking to him. He's saying, what is he saying right now? Willard, you awake? All right, Willard's ready to go. It's not nap time. It's fast time. So Willard Kinser, Allen, Kentucky, rolls to the starting line ever so gently. His little Mustang, flat out loves it. Petty tuning it. It's Steve Petty. And we've got a live mic on Petty down there, don't we?
Hey, man. Come on, Willard. Throw it in.
And Willard Kinser slows down front of it. Look at Keith Berry, though, by 0.3 of a second. The woo factor makes the inaugural Pro Drag Radial race. Keith Berry goes to number 5 with his Chevrolet Corvette. Woodruff takes his number 6 Corvette down a spot to 6. And 17, Willard Kinser gets bumped out because Berry comes up and makes that big hit. That 470, not enough. So Willard Kinser not in the field. Kevin Scott goes to the bump mark. Now let's see if there's anybody that can play the game. Oh no, the Honey Badger, KH's entry. All the way from Guitar, Team Allen Abbey. And the kid that made the car so famous, here comes the guy that's 24 right now, Stevie Jackson. We are going to get ready to change everything. And I would say right now, Kevin Scott, you're going to be sitting here wondering. Frank Bushaw's already number 9 in qualifying in the first Pro Drag Radial ADRL race. So he's in, secured in the right lane. The left lane, in the worst way right now, they've gone 5.64 at 100 miles per hour on and off the throttle. Now it's time to go to work. And you look down at this ladder and you look at all these guys, you say, man, they pushed them all out of the thing. Enzo Pacini, who was once in there at 15, is down to 18 out of the game. They pushed Kinser out. Christopher, who I thought had a good shot at it, 19. Shane Stack was yet to come, right? We haven't seen the red Mammoth Monte Carlo, and there's his crew members right there. The Thrillbilly. That's what they call him. That guy is something else. He'll have a chance to change our ladder. So Stephen Woolley will have a chance to change the ladder. Mustang Mike and Stevie Jackson. Here we go. And Jackson will be the first one. So I would say that the 16 through 13, look out. Stevie Jackson, Martinez, Georgia, ready to go. Not hanging on to it. He's in the game. 4.539, 178 miles per hour. So Stevie Jackson takes on the charge right there is Mushaw. As Mushaw goes through the beams down there, and I would tell you, Frank Mushaw, number 9. Stevie Jackson, Martinez, Georgia, ready to go. Not hanging on to it. He's in the game. 4.539, 178 miles. The Thrillbilly in his drag radial Monte Carlo. And you look at that car and you talk about aerodynamics, man, I'm telling you, there are none right here. So they're going to check the track out right here, and then we'll get Shane Stack and Steve Woolley. Steve Woolley down here, Woolley's little Chevrolet Nova. Turbocharged entry. Very, very cool car. And if you're liking Monte Carlos, and you look at this thing, and I say it a bunch of times, the basketball player sitting in the back of the 69 Camaro back in the day, Shane Stack, I'm telling you, he's close to 7 foot tall. That guy is a big, big dude. Oh, yeah, you remember? Shane Stack on the attack. The Thrillbilly, does he get in? No, the Thrillbilly going to go skateboarding at 541, 454. And look at that, Steve Woolley gets into the game at number 13 in qualifying. That puts Kenny Hubbard, the Texan, with the supercharged Chevrolet Camaro on the bump. 4.62 seconds. Stack can only come up with 22. And he'd be the first one to tell you what a group of guys. And one other guy that can really change it. So Mustang Mike getting ready to make his debut and see if he can get into this field. He's got to go quicker than 4.62 seconds. Kenny Hubbard. So Mustang Mike Modest, right here. What a great guy, great tuner. A driver for many, many years, from the NMCA to the NSCA to Stanford to the NMRA, and making his debut here with all that horsepower right there in that little Mustang. That is the original car. He said this is the one that really I had for many, many years after he had a wild, wild encounter with the guard wall. And liking the tune-up, 557. Let me go over there before Mr. Tucker changes everything. 527 did not get in. Mustang Mike Modest, man. That pop right there, Brooklyn, New York, that was enough to put a stamp on the postcard, send it home, and say, gosh, am I upset.